Hi Virgos, welcome to your April 2019 monthly readings. Happy New Year to everybody. It's a late one, but I've been on the go. Life, getting organized and moved and changing jobs soon. And so a lot on the go where I should have more free time now. Previously where I lived, it took me 4 hours to get to and from work. So it took a lot of my time up. Some days I was only sleeping about 2 to 4 hours. I was on like 150 for almost a full year there, man. I don't know how I did it. Last month I wanted to get these videos out, but then life threw me an unexpected plot twist. I ended up needing a root canal, and my face swelled up really bad, and my neck swelled out. It's quite embarrassing, like. But I guess when you don't want to slow down, life will make it happen, whether you want to or not. So we're going to be doing the no, show, and grow readings. Okay. I like these readings because they're self-focused, and that's what I believe spirituality is about. Because when you face there's that saying when you, I think it's an African proverb. Mercury retrograde, man. When you face the enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm, right? So that's I don't like to interfere with free will. I don't like to spy on people. I kind of feel like people have turned tarot into like a gong show, really. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's like the days of our lives, right? Like they're spying on people in their lives, and that's not what it's about, right? Like it's about healing oneself and knowing oneself. Okay, pushing ourselves to learn more and be more and do more, to forgive ourselves and to surpass limits that we believe we have, right? Because we are limitless, whether we believe it or not. Where I am noticing a pattern between like the fire signs, they got a similar thing happening, and then now I'm doing earth, and you guys got a similar thing going on. So I mean that's interesting. So we're gonna do the no, show, and grow. First card you got is I am valuable, is highly spiritual, purple. I am traveling. And then you got I am forgiving. You have the Six of Pentacles. You have the Five of Wands. You have the Nine of Wands. You have the Ten of Wands. Dun dun dun. Ten's a completion number, so have no fear. All right. The end is near. Where you have the nine, the Nine of Swords. You got a lot of purple in your reading, and then the Seven of Pentacles. I might pull out extra cards just for you guys. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay? So what you need to know is you are valuable. Okay? But I feel like there could be two groups of Virgos that I may talk to. One, it's you don't have enough confidence in yourself. Two, the second group, it's like gluttony is coming through. So it's like, confidence is a good thing. However, you need to understand that others bring value to you as well. Like you don't want to have the attitude of everything I can do. What is that saying? Everything you can do, I can do better. Okay, that's kind of coming through with this card. Okay, so either you're on either side of that scale. All right, because if it's the person that has gluttony, that's causing your problems. If you're the person who doesn't have enough confidence, that's causing problems too. Okay, you're all up in your head worrying, and Mercury is retrograde, so that could affect you guys, right? Like I got a Virgo rising, and my Aquarius Mars sits in Virgo, so I mean it's not the best placement, you guys. It brings a lot of hidden enemies at work, and it brings health issues. However, it is a good placement in the sense that you can get through all of that stuff, but it's hard. It's hard. Okay, so for some of you, you need to know that you are valuable. So you have to look back at everything you've come through and how you've surpassed it. That may help you get going. You have the Six of Pentacles, so that's talking about giving and receiving. You want to ensure that the people around you are giving as much as they're receiving, right? So I feel like for some of you guys, this has to do with work. Okay, it is Pentacles, all right? It's like know your value at your job. If you're doing more than your share and the other people aren't, and you don't feel like you're being paid your dollar and you're burdened by this job, then it's time to switch. It's make the switch. Don't worry about it. Okay, make the switch. Where some of you could be burdened by finances, and if that's the case, it's saying I keep getting gluttony. Don't know why. It's saying that perhaps spending has gotten out of hand and you need to save. Okay. It could be somebody around you. And for others of you, I feel like because you're doing good, others may try to cause blockages towards you. Okay. However, what I'm getting is you want to be aware of your surroundings because your surroundings could be getting you off. You are highly sensitive to energy. You hear me say this a lot. Virgos are the ones who can tell when somebody across the room or even across the street from them is staring at them. You're highly affected by other people's energies. You can feel it and you can sense it. So ensure you're trusting those senses. Okay. What you need to know is that there has to be an equal give and take. Okay. You also need to know with the Ten of Wands here that any burdens could be, well, let's keep it self-focused. So there's some burdens that you have that you're not facing. All right. Like, it's like in the sense, in order to be the teacher, you have to be the student. The second that you stop being the student, you stop being a teacher. All right. You continuously have to learn. Okay. If you've received a lot from others, then you have to give back, right? There's also a sense of like, okay, don't point the finger at anybody, Virgo. Like look at yourself, okay? And I mean, I feel weird talking about this with a Virgo because Virgos are very self-reflective. However, you want to be aware because I get something about like weight. Like you could be very concerned about your weight for some reason. Um, and that's going to be a challenge for you to lose, and that's okay. I mean, it's really easy to gain weight, you guys. It's hard to lose it. It takes longer to lose it, right? Everything in moderation. I just talked about that with Taurus. Okay, so these burdens that you have are it's about actions being taken. It's almost like you're not taking the appropriate actions to get out of whatever situation that you're in, which again comes down to your value. All right. You got the Five of Pentacles. So it could be about finances. You're concerned about your finances. You might, I'm not gonna lie, you might have to make a job change, you guys. Like it's like your value, you're worth a lot more than what you realize, and you can be getting paid better somewhere else. All right. I don't know why you don't want to leave it. Did I show the cards? I don't remember. Okay, I'm just gonna show them again. You got the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Swords. I'm pretty sure I showed them, right? The Seven of Pentacles. Okay, and then I just pulled out some extra cards. You got the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and then the Chariot came out. I did show them. I'm pretty sure I did. So what you need to know is the only way that your burdens are going to be lifted or your value is going to be noticed is when you take those actions on directly yourself. There's no point in the finger or whining and complaining about why don't these people appreciate me more? Why don't they see this? None of that. You got to take the action yourself, okay? You want things to get better, then you got to get better. You got to take the actions necessary, all right? Nobody's going to save you except you, right? You can't expect others to appreciate you or show you value if you're not doing those things for yourself. With the Five of Pentacles there, it is earthly matters. So this is like either one, it's your finances. Two, it's your health, okay? So you're like your well-being. Maybe you're not overweight or you haven't gained weight, but you're not physically taking care of yourself. You're not going out and walking. You're not eating properly. It could be all junk food you're putting in your body. Virgos are highly sensitive to what goes in their body. In some way, you're depleting yourself, okay, of your earthly energy. Okay, and that could be your physical ability. So what can I give an example of that? Okay, for me personally, I don't know how other people do readings or put out as many as they do because I have to break them up. This is like going to the Five of Pentacles. I get very depleted energy-wise if I do more than like 4 videos in a row. I can get headaches. I get very drained because it's an energy exchange. I read energy, right? So for me, I have to be very careful at how I tend to these videos. I have to break them up and I have to respect myself, right? Value myself and give myself time to regenerate, okay? So in some manner, you're going to have to know your limit and play within it. If that makes sense, okay? Other people could be depleting too much of your time and energy, your money, right? Like people constantly coming over to your house, you're feeding them, so they're depleting you of your resources, right? Okay, so what you need to show is you got the I am traveling, the Five of Wands, and then Nine of Swords. I think the Nine of Swords kind of fitting for Mercury retrograde because you're ruled by Mercury. However, what I'm getting is you guys need a vacation, man. You need to get out. And it's not just out at something fancy or like fine dining, that type of out at a hotel where it's like a spa. That could be nice, okay, but that's not what I'm seeing for you guys. I'm seeing you guys need to get back into Mother Earth, so Mother Nature. So this is like mountains, hiking, because it has all of the, if you see here, it's like I'm getting dirt, I'm getting grass, I'm getting water, and this is kind of like mossy. You like my jazz hands? It's kind of mossy, you know what I mean? Because with the Five of Wands, those of you that have watched me before, you know I particularly don't like the Five of Wands. It's action oriented. I have a different opinion about this card in the Five of Swords than I guess everybody else or some people, you know, because I don't know what everybody else's opinion is. However, with the Five of Wands, I dislike it because you can see it in the card too. It's actions being taken. Somebody's going to get hurt, right? Wands could do with ego and pride. It's all women in this card, though. There's no men. And women can get very chatty. They can get very gossipy. So you want to be aware of that. You're not doing any of that because it can pose problems for you. But this is action being taken to hurt others, intentional, right? Like you're whacking a stick around, somebody's going to get hurt. You're intentionally doing that, right? Like because the passions and desires are getting out of hand. Whether somebody wants to be top dog, somebody wants to belittle another person, they will achieve their goal because the actions are being taken to do so. Right? So you want to remove yourself from that situation. If you're in a job where it's like everybody's always constantly competing with each other and arguing with each other and underhandedly undermining each other, they're intentionally doing harm, right? Remove yourself from that situation. If you, because it's causing you grief, right? You're all concerned about it. You're all worried about it. Like, if you're concerned about people judging you too, then you need to see the value in yourself and not care how other people perceive you, right? I do feel like you need to take action though and get outside and play. This is not a playful card. You need to remove yourself from that and go out and enjoy the fresh air to clear the mind. Okay, and this is because it's in the section of what you need to show. Odd placement, right? This card. And because it's the Nine of Swords, this is worry, concern, doubt, fear. These are all the things it doesn't need you to show. It needs you to show that you can surpass it by the I am traveling, moving forward, moving on from what no longer serves you. If you're living in an area that doesn't serve you anymore, move away from it. All right. Where can you go where you're closer to nature? All right. You really need to, this is the sword of truth, right? I associate it with King Arthur, the sword of truth. And it's, you really got to be honest with yourself. Worrying doesn't accomplish anything. You're just praying to the devil, all right? You're just going to attract more, like, I don't mean literally. It could be literally, but like, those of you that don't believe in God and the devil, you really need to be truthful with yourself, okay? Some of you might need to call up some of your good friends to go up on a hike. If you can't travel, you don't have the money for it, you can go camping. This is talking about more so like camping, like, okay, what you need to grow is I am forgiven. You have the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. And then the extra card was the Chariot. Okay, the Chariot is also about traveling. It is about, if you're going back to like the Roman days and stuff like that. Okay, the Chariot was brought in as a victor, like showing the victory that they had after they defeated another continent or country. They would bring the Chariot in and ride it around in the stadium or around the village or their kingdom or empire to show the people that they were victorious, and usually the winnings would be on the back of the chariot. And that's with the Nine of Wands. So again, gluttony. You don't want to tell people about your victories. You want to kind of keep that quiet because it could start problems, or your new job opportunities. It could start problems, right? If you're applying for a higher up position in your company and you're telling people you're applying for it, well, then that's going to cause backlash, right? There's going to be somebody around you who thinks that they deserve it more than you do, and they're going to try to bring you down a notch, right? They're going to try to block you. Again, if that occurs, the only blockage you're going to have is going to come from yourself. You're going to allow it, right? Like, you don't tolerate that. You don't feed into it either, right? Play stupid. Sometimes you got to be the fool to fool the fool. Make sense? Okay. What you need to grow is the I am forgiven. You need to realize that these people that are doing that, it's because they don't feel valuable themselves, right? So they have to do undermined things. But with the I am forgiven, that could be, there's people around you from your past even that you've given to and they haven't given to you, that you have to forgive, or that you've had arguments with, or that you feel betrayed you or stole from you. You need to forgive these people, all right? Because that's holding you back. Like, you're holding on to grudges where you kind of need to have the attitude of what you've given, you will receive. Maybe not into like this moment, all right, but in the future, you will receive what you've given. So it's like maybe not in the manner that you believe, though. Okay, so it's like if you've given a lot of money or you got ripped off, you know, a lot of us have been there, done that. Dated somebody that took you for everything you had, right? However, in the future, you will find a job that's really high paying, and that's the way of the universe giving you back that abundance. You're not going to get it all at one sum like win the lottery. You're going to get it over time, right? Most people don't get a job that pays really high, right? They get a middle ground job. So like the universe is going to supply you with what you need, right? So don't block yourself from it with bitterness or uh, pride or ego, you know? Also, don't block people out from being in your life. Yes, you may have these um, idiots around you. We'll call them idiots, all right? Or people competing or, you know, trying to one up each other. You do have that around you, okay? But you also have people that love you, want to spend time with you, so, and, you know, your soul tribe, if you want to call it, you know, like you can go on a trip with them, even if it's a girl's trip, a guy's trip, a family trip, some sort of trip, okay? But you do have this, the moon's here and he's looking away. He's not facing his emotions, right? You gotta feel in order to heal, okay? So some of you might have to trick yourself by watching a sad movie and crying, all right? Cry it out, where you got to get those emotions out, whether you want to or not, you know? And don't be scared of the past repeating itself, all right? You might be up against a lot of people and maybe get rejected for a job or two, or, you know, like I can speak from experience in the sense when I was moving in January, I looked at so many places, you guys, applied for so many places, and I was rejected a lot. The ones that I wasn't rejected, they tried to use trickery on me in the sense that, you know, they would say, oh, we have 4 other people that want the place. They're willing to pay this much. And then I would just be straight with them. It was like, listen, man, this is what you advertise. This is the price that you advertise. That's the price I'm going to pay. I'm not paying no more, no less, right? Like, I'm not going to be part of your shenanigans, you know, like, and they realized very quick on that they couldn't get me to give them more money, right? And as much of a hassle as it was, you guys, because this went on all month, I looked at places so much. I got really discouraged and everything. And then I ended up finding a place, wasn't in the exact area I wanted. It was in the area, but not the exact area. I wanted to be right beside the SkyTrain, or the train, we'll call it, walking distance, and walking distance to everything around me. But I was going to have to pay more to get that. All right. And I wasn't going to get very much, and the places weren't very nice. So I had to compromise a little more. And I had already compromised with the area I picked. Being close to the train, it wasn't like downtown. So it was cheaper, right? I'd love to live downtown, but it's way too expensive. You're going to get a shoebox there. So I ended up moving. It's about, if you were taking a bus, it would be 10 minutes to where I was originally looking. Okay, so, and there's multiple buses here where I can go multiple ways. I'm only like 20 minutes from downtown, and, you know, like, so, and I'm paying a lot less than what I was originally going to pay. All right, so there's some things that you got to admit to yourself that you're wrong about the value, what really has value, right? That's my little spiel. All right. I wasn't happy about it at first, but then, you know, when I seen the numbers and I crunched the numbers, I was like, it's not so bad. You know, I'm only 10 minutes away from where I wanted to be. It's a lot less busier. I'm right beside a lake that I can walk to, you know, like, and it's a very well sought out lake that people travel down to go see. The ocean is 15 minutes away from me, you know, like, so I'm not exactly where I want it to be, but I am, you know, getting everything I want, you know, just not in the way that I thought I was going to get it, you know, like, so don't be stubborn, okay? With here, these cards are about stubbornness. And don't get into the lack mentality. Be optimistic, all right? Look with the chariot, it is a vehicle, so look around, all right? In proximity. And again, if like If you are looking for a place, don't give up. Okay, like I can tell you from experience, it took a full month to find the place I wanted, and it was right when I got like was ready to give up too that it came through. But I was like, F this shit. I'm sick of these people. And actually, you know what? I started questioning society. It's like, how can people be so mean or rude or like so concerned about finances? You know what I mean? Like, for $20 more, you're going to try to like screw me over for $20 more. You know what I mean? Like, the right places, the right people, the right things will come along when needed. But don't give up, though. That's the key. Do take a trip with people. Get outside of your comfort zone. If you are moving, try to find an area that's going to supply you with everything you need. Okay, again, it might not be what you wanted, but it will be what you need. Your needs and wants are two separate things. Okay, you do need to get out more. You have with the chariot in the background. You see the buildings? It's kind of like Atlantis to me. All right. So maybe you need to be near water. I actually haven't really walked down to that lake. With this card, it was coming up like it needed more physical, you know, like not taking care of yourself properly. I should be out there walking more. But the thing is, where I moved you guys, where I lived previous, it was all flat, right? And I live in BC, so it's a lot of mountains where the ocean's here and the mountains, right? It's a beautiful place. Uh, and where I moved, it's all hills. The sidewalk and everything, like it's a steep incline. It's like the first day I walked here, it was like, man, I'm so out of shape. You know, where I've been going the opposite approach. It's like I want to go out, but it's like I don't want to walk up and down these hills, man. It's too much for me. So, you know, in this sense, it could be talking about like suck it up, you know, like build up your resilience towards it, where eventually it'll get easier. Where logically it makes sense, but you know, you do have to um, have movement. Okay, you need to grow movement. Um, and your emotions. You need to emotionally forgive people, right? Don't hold grudges because you're going to block yourself. It's not going to be anybody else's doing. It's going to be your doing. All right. Like if you've been heartbroken before and you're still holding on to the emotions and the depletion that it left you in, the depleted state it left you in, or whether that's from a family member or whatnot. Okay. Well, then because you haven't forgiven, you're going to attract the very thing that you want to avoid. All right. Or it's because you haven't faced your emotions. You're going to be, you don't want to settle. All right. You don't want to miss out on the things that life has to offer you. And if you don't get to this forgiven state, whether that's yourself or others, and it's probably a bit of both, column A and column B, right? Because you got to forgive yourself in order to forgive others. You're going to be missing out on the opportunities that life have to offer you. Okay? And we don't want to see that. You do need to protect what's yours, but you do need to go on a trip, some sort of like outdoor hiking trip. I like in like again, because I see moss here, I see dirt, I see grass, and I see water. So it's not like an extravagant trip. Okay, of going to get your nails and pedicures and manicures done. Okay, if that works for you, that works for you. Just ensure that you're not overspending your money. It's talking about a simpler trip. With Atlantis here, it's like over water, so it could be a cruise trip, right? It could check your vehicles too, all right? Like uh, maybe some of you guys with the expense years, you can downgrade your vehicle. Maybe you have a really nice vehicle, but you're paying too much to lease it or to own it. Like it wasn't fully paid off when you bought it, so you got a loan for it. This could be talking about, okay, you learned from that, you may need more money, so you can sell that vehicle and then maybe buy a vehicle that's like you're able to fully pay off. So you're not concerned about payments. The only thing you're concerned about is your insurance and gas. All right. Live within your means, it's talking about. All right. Getting grounded. The Seven of Pentacles here, it's being sure of yourself, firm in who you are. And this guy's kind of smug here. He's got like a look like, I don't know why. But he's also got like, there's research that you need to do. I'm seeing computer, not like an actual computer. I'm seeing like the little circuit board inside like the laptop or computer, like the little silver things that it's attached to for some reason. So if you're having a car issue, it could be the computer issue. So maybe with like you got a really nice car then. It's all computerized. So maybe it's talking about more of a simpler car where you might have to drive a car where you have to roll the windows down, but it'll be fully paid off. You know what I mean? This is definitely talking about, it's not about the destination, Virgos. It's about the journey, all right? Because if you're too focused on the destination, you're going to miss the journey. But it's talking about sometimes it's okay to be in the back seat and not the driver. All right. When you're in the back seat, you get to see the scenery. You get to be mesmerized by the beauty and that life in the universe has to offer you. Right. But you do have to learn to forgive yourself and others. Maybe there's somebody that you've had hard times with that, you know, you miss that bond and you guys can go on a trip together and reconnect and have fun just like old times, right? We all make mistakes. We're all human. So you can't hold that over somebody's head, all right? And they can't do that to you. So I'm going to pull a Shaman Oracle card. So we have Dance of Inspiration. All of these cards are they're images of caves, like caves of all around the world. I don't know where. Driving my Virgo side nuts. They didn't put that in the book. All right. So you got Dancer of Inspiration. And it's interesting. I said water here. I got like nature on the background, and it is an ocean sound. So in Dancer of Inspiration, music is fluid, right? So if you're at a low vibration, I believe I've said this quite a few times before, you want to put some music on and elevate your vibration. So higher frequency music, right? So if you believe you have limits and that's what's holding you back, well then, what's that? Play that song, No Limits by Too Unlimited. You have no limits, all right? Okay, here it is here. It says, I am the dancer of inspiration. From me comes the magical lightning strike of understanding, and a night grasp of knowledge and transformation everything you undertake. I dance in you at your most essential moments. And when others see me, I can inspire them to the greatest heights of achievement. When you journey with me, you see everything with clear focus, a greater sense of clarity and conviction. I lead you to the gates of highest wonder. Inspiration can strike us at any moment, bringing a blaze of knowing, of understanding. It can transform anything we do. We can be inspired by anything, and that inspiration grows within us like a flower, revealing in its unfolding a deeper and more profound sense of our purpose. The dancer of inspiration resonates with a measure of inner certainty that cannot be diminished, and shines the light of possibility on us. In achieving a moment of revelation, we are also able to inspire others, one of the greatest acts that we can perform as a human being. And it's based on like striking out to fresh territory, appreciation by others, turning the corner, winning, and creative strength. So I do feel like you guys do have to strike out because you have this movement card. You have I am traveling. If it's not a trip that you're going to go on, this is talking about you need movement. You need to get away from all of the shenanigans. All right. All right, you guys. Hopefully this helped you out. I will talk to you next month. Namaste and ciao for now.